In our weekly quest for buildings that celebrate South Africa's rich architectural and design tradition and heritage, architectural technologist Omar Horzook has taken us to the Gasworks, where he shared aspects of the building that stood out for him, like material durability and normality of that place.
Old city of Johannesburg Gasworks as an old industrial abandoned site, which I quite like because of the mystery surrounding this abandoned building, the rustic red brick structure, and the fact that the building itself is not about the aesthetic, it's not about how good it looks, although it was taken into the design when the bricks were done. But the building itself is an industrial building. It was a factory to produce gas. And a project of such a nature is not pretentious in any way. And so it's true to its form. It's simple, it's pure, but over time it's grown onto the city's residents of Johannesburg, and it's become accepted as an iconic part of this area of Braamfontein and Auckland Park. If you look at the two taller structures, those were the main facilities for producing the gas. The white buildings in front were largely the coal bunkers where they were stored and transferred overhead into the top buildings. And again, because it's very technical based, because it's simple and it's industrial in nature, it serves a purpose, and the purpose was to supply gas to the residents of the city of Johannesburg. The gas was transmitted through pipelines in the ground. The building itself is very rustic, it was very hard wearing, so the materials used had to survive both the production process with the high heat from burning the coal, as well as the duration of the process over time, because the initial building was put up in 1928 and it worked right through till the late 80s, possibly early 90s when it was decommissioned. And it stood so well, except obviously for glazing, which breaks easily. It's because the bricks used were specific, and the engineers from Manchester specified a local brick, the Vereniging pressed brick. And the sheeting, the metal sheeting, was a treated Robertson sheeting. All of these materials were taken into consideration for their durability, for their long-lasting quality. And the building itself is not a load-bearing brick structure, but rather steel framed. So the bricks you see are just infill panels, and where the steel columns are, they've been surrounded in brick. So you see these buttress-like features coming out. The interesting thing about the height of the building is that although this building is probably between, 4 to 5 stories high, as a passerby on Solomon Road or from Wits campus, you don't notice it, largely because the ground here is in a depression. And part of the building is built below ground, so half a floor of the ground floor is underground. And it works in a way to reduce the scale of the building, and that's why it seems so overgrown by the vegetation, because the building lies low. Even in the simple low scale of the pottery factory itself, you could see curved steel features. So the building itself was done, although in an unpretentious way with brick, the design in the steel work was not just functional. It was done in a way to at least create a sense of appreciation of what is there. I think the biggest problem and why people don't know the building is here for a large extent is that it's been so closed off, and it's a pity. And if you look at even this overhead steel gantries for which the coal was brought in, and just the color again of the red brick, which is quite interesting and offset by the white building there, it's the contrast. So the building might not appeal to everyone, especially people not in the field of architecture who might ask for it to be demolished. But it should be appreciated for what it is, what it was, and I think in most part what it can become.